Man, YouTube, you're really killing me these days. I used to stream on YouTube live all the time, but now YouTube, you are just not doing it for me. Um, that's not to say I'm not going to continue streaming on YouTube. I just wanted to update you guys on what this project was doing. So here's what's going on. I did get some lights hooked up, as I will demonstrate. Let's see, which one did this turn on? Should have turned on some lights. Oh, here we go. It turned on these lights. Let's do that. So these lights are on, and then these lights turn on that one. Cool. And this one down here. Oops, that one got rotated around. So that's one of the torpedo tubes that I created for this project. Let me fix that. There we go. So they're like little 18th century, 19th century, I should say, torpedo tubey type things. There's going to be some more stuff in the back of that room. There's going to be some stuff in this room too. I'm waiting on a couple things to add. And then this one's got some lights. These also light up. Let me show you how that works. So if you look at this grayish stuff on the sides, that's actually epoxy sculpt. I ended up having to thicken this out. Part of that is because of some issues. Got some tissues for your issues. That was part of some issues with the sides and mounting that. Always got to have the right tools for the right job. It was part of the thickness of the wall and some issues that started where it started warping and coming apart when I was putting it together. I don't know exactly what caused it. I probably wasn't paying attention to it, and I guess as the glue cured or something happened and the plastic warped. I don't know. Something weird. All right, so we got this one connected. And these are getting replaced tomorrow night, by the way. They were a little bit too big. I got a variety pack. There we go. So there's our other room. Let's turn off the lights. Can't really appreciate these with the lights on. Here we go. The lights everywhere. Scan everything. So there's this light. There's this light. This is the engineering, which I'm sure you guys have already seen all this stuff, but I'm just kind of recapping. There's the dive room, which I don't know. I might add another light in there. You're getting the sort of feedback lighting from the background where the front lights are there, which is kind of cool. Maybe I'll figure out a way to incorporate that. I don't know. Then brace yourselves. These are bright. There's these lights. And then there's these little proby kind of light things for these. What did I describe these as? I called them, they're a defensive weapon. They're part of the electrical system. I think I called them arc transference something coils or something. I don't know. But yeah, there's that. And then all of this rests on this big bad boy, whoop, which I just dropped on the ground. It's okay. It's okay. I made my stuff pretty durable. I've been dropping this thing since I started building it. It's not a big deal. It's literally what I do, like with every project I work on. All right, let's see. Let's try to get this thing mounted in a way where it won't fall over. Probably helps if I have more room on the desk. There we go. So that goes there. Let's turn off the lights for this. I've got switches hooked up to everything. All right, that one's turned off. That one's turned off. I'll turn off this one. Okay. All right. Oh yeah, there's another piece missing. Forgot about that. I don't know how that ended up that way, but that's okay. That goes there. This goes up in here, like so. I planned it this way. It's got plenty of room, don't worry. All right, and there's little magnets in there to kind of help this thing stabilize a little bit. Just got to get them sorted out. See if they're Yeah. Okay, so the magnets are in. Let's go back a little bit so we can get a good look at this guy. There we go. And let's turn him so we can see him. There we go. We'll put these little guys in here. We'll fish them out later. Is there room? The reason I'm doing that is so I can put the top section of this on. And don't worry, it's going to get a full repaint. Not a full repaint, but I'm going to finish painting it before everything's said and done. Let's tilt these arms a little bit so we can get a big straight. And then we're going to put this wire in here very carefully so as not to break anything. I should just cut these wires, huh? I don't think they need to be that long. Maybe about right here. Let's cut them. Let's make a decision live on YouTube. It's part of the process. Trust the process. Let's cut those. They're just a little too long for my taste. They're not going any further down, so there we go. All right. Hope I don't make a mistake doing that, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm all about making mistakes and fixing them later. All right, there we go. And that's got a magnet that holds it in place too. So here's where we're at, guys. Ladies and gentlemen. Beans in chunks. So yeah, so here's where we're at. We've got lights set up. We've got an interior on the inside of the top. We've got all this shiny gold stuff. Again, this is not a finished paint job. This is the preliminary paint job. Let's tighten this in place and we'll rotate it around. And you can see what else is going on. So, magnet. We do have another interior to look at. Again, this lower area is not quite done yet. There's a few things to add to pretty much all these rooms. The only one room that really is done is engineering. That's the only room that's really done. And the bridge. The bridge is done. This one, I still need to add some panels. This one's got some accessories to add. This one's, I got a bunch of stuff to put in there. So this one and this one up here are done. I don't know if I showed you this little magnetic doodad. It's not falling off because it's magnetized. This is the little deck gun I made for this. Fun stuff. And I'll zoom in on this thing here in a little bit. And if you're curious what this is for the original Mecha contest and or the Peculiar Robot contest, which is in December. But the original Mecha contest deadline is October 31st. We are on October, what is this? The 12th? So running out of time, guys. I got to finish this quick. So here's the deal. The panels I need to fix are going to be these two sliding panels up here. So these go in like this. Let me see, they're backwards. Yeah, they go in on little sliders. Really overly complicated, but they do the job. Let's see if I can find the other one. It's around here somewhere, I swear. There's one here. This goes in the back, right here. Let me rotate this thing around. There we go. Just had to find where it snaps in. Oh, it's crooked, that's why. There we go. And that's not horribly bad. I wouldn't say it's seamless, but looks pretty good. And it's in there nice and tight. So there's that one. Let's rotate this around again. Straighten this out. All right. So we've got that. And there's like a little clamp here and some venting. All right. Because it's the engineering room, right? Where is the other back panel for the... Oh, you try to organize, but no matter how hard you try, it's just impossible. And you'll notice that the winglets I removed, that was mainly so I could sculpt this, but they're still here. Here's the winglet for that side. And these are, I call these the down planes for this, because it's a sub. So this rotates, and as it's moving, it brings it in or out of the water. So do these paddles. These feet also work as like little paddle things, you know, they're not just for support. But these go on either side of this, right about here. And they swing back and forth. They're hooked in there with bolts. This is some, yes, the propellers. They're not really in there nice and tight. I was going to put them in with magnets at some point, but that's the main propulsion. Besides the feet, and they've got little decorative elements as well. And by the way, if you guys are chatting, I can't see what's going on in chat. But for those of you that joined me, hey, thanks. And if you're new, please like and subscribe if you haven't already, right? So this is the mini sub that goes into this room up here. I did a little bit of painting. I'm not done with this yet. All this stuff is just kind of like the base coat painting. This one opens up so you can get inside. There's a little grab handle in there somewhere. Yeah, so that goes in there too. Let's go ahead and put that in there. Should fit just perfectly. There we go. Let's see. What else is there that goes inside this thing? Then there's the storage containers, which I will label as, like, I don't know, rum, lard, salt, whatever. Some little crates I made. Also, these are just made out of wooden, literally square wooden beads that I put some, I crosshatched some stuff on. What is it? What is it? What is all of this? All right, I will explain. This is an upside down bowling pin. No, it's not. It does resemble one. It is also not a wine bottle. It's basically a giant steampunk anti-kaiju mecha built at 1/100 scale. And when I say 1/100 scale, I mean this scale, 15 millimeter. So this is one of the crew that goes inside this giant thing. I built this for a couple of contests. Here's I'm going to clean that glass out. But there's the bridge. And this is all scratch built. There's a couple things. I wouldn't say 100% scratch built. I'd say about 65, 70% scratch built. And then about another 25%, 20 to 25% items I found. The bridge is almost, I'd say 99% scratch built. Apart from a couple pieces I borrowed for the steering and the throttle control. The seat was sculpted and made out of plastic card. I don't know if you can make out that. There we go. And then I quilted it with when I sculpted it. And then the little Kraken that's in there. I don't know if you can see that very well with this light in the way. There we go. There we go. That's a better shot. So the bars are made of brass. The Kraken in the background sculpted out of green stuff. Everything else is made out of plastic card. Yeah. This is a big bottle that was cut in pieces and then reassembled. The rings underneath of these plastic panels. I wish I could see the chat. Here we go. Top chat. Nice work. Oh, thank you. Yeah, then all this is, these are some keys from a laptop and some other doodads, mechanical bits I got off of models. All the rivets are put on individually, and those all came from different I don't know if they're rhinestones or whatever, some sort of decorative element. Then I LED mounted a bunch of, I don't know if were you here for the LED display? I could show you again. This is sculpted on. That's not done yet. I'm waiting for that to dry and I can chisel into it a little bit and sand it. There's an interior to this thing. So there's, this is the torpedo room with some custom made, you know, Victorian steampunk torpedo tubes. There's going to be a ladder that comes out of here also. This is the dive room. With the hatches on this are supposed to open. If I can get one open here. There we go. They open up like this. That's not quite done yet either. You can tell I'm having a little trouble with the hatches. These little things light up. There's some lights inside this guy. And if you go to my YouTube, if you looked at my other YouTube shorts, or you go to my Instagram, you'll see these. Once again, if you're already subscribed, you know about it. If you're not subscribed and you're not following me, then and this is your first time, I do stuff like this all the time. Make crazy stuff. But yeah, you know what? Oh, and then there's the engineering room, which I don't know if I showed you that, if you were here for that. This pops out, and then there's engineering. And then, just for grins, that's got some lights in it. There you go. So every room in this little thing is going to have lights in it. But yeah, that's what it is. It's a giant mechanical squid. The amphibious mechanical squid, I should note. So it swims around looking for trouble. And then when it finds it, it takes care of it. It takes care of the trouble. So there you go. Ta-da! This is where I'm at right now. So yeah, and the legs are posable, but I'm not going to move them around too much because they kind of need them for stability. You can kind of mount these. I think you can probably lift one of these without too much trouble. If I put too many of them up, it'll have nothing to stand on, right? Oh, and then this is the last panel I'm working on, which has been just a colossal pain. It's nice and smooth, actually. It looks like it's not, but these are filled in. They're not pockmarks. Rotate this puppy around. This is the one I'm having the most trouble with. So this one's done for the most part. These are getting done. Where is that other door? It was here. Got it fall on the ground? Let's see. Oh. It's a little precarious right now. If I don't have it rotated to where the magnets align, it's going to fall over. But I think right now it's cool. All right, so this is the other door for here. That one slides in. I'm going to put some guides on here so these don't keep popping out of their thing. Is that upside down? No, it's good. That goes in there. If you don't slide it in, it's like an old window from the 70s. You just got to line it up just right. All right, so those are in. And then this is the final one. And this one's been kind of a pain, but I'm hoping to have figured this out soon. When this is finally set, it'll be kind of in place when it's done. Hopefully the magnets will take care of the rest. And it's not seamless now, but hopefully it'll be more or less close to seamless when it's done. I don't know why it's pushed out so far. I might have to sand that down. Yeah, so this needs a little work, obviously. Ta-da! And we'll put this one back in. Whoa. But when everything's said and done, it only has to last long enough for the beauty shots, right? And then it can just collapse and fall apart as much as it wants to its little heart's content. But yeah, that's it. That's the project. That's what I've been working on. So if you guys get a chance and you're following me and you're waiting for me to make more stuff, the end is near. Whatever that means. I mean, the end of this project, of course, is almost here. I'll be done with it. I can move on to my other projects that I've been promising forever. I'm thinking the Pochita is probably the next big one that I should probably concentrate on. And there's going to be a few other little projects in between. Probably I'm doing some buildings. I've been wanting to do some little miniaturized buildings with some bottles, just to show people how you can make those effective and interesting. And that's it. That's it, guys. That's all I got. That's what I've been up to. I don't know who just joined. Let me see live chat. But thank you, Humble Pie, if you're still on, and the other 2 folks or 3 folks who just joined. Thank you. Like I said, this will be done soon enough. Let me get this thing out of here and get a little view of some things. I'll be putting the crew together and painting them, sticking them in. I do have a couple of assembled crew. When I say assembled, I mean hand sculpted. So this little guy, for instance, my little diver. A little 15 mil diver. Whoops. Gotta stop dropping him. And he stands okay on his own, so he should be all right. Let me see if I can. There he goes. So this is a good idea for scale. So this would be a typical guy, and he's actually larger than normal because of the giant helmet and boots, but just to give you an idea of scale of this thing, here's a little 15 mil guy next to him. We'll put him over here. This is probably a little bit more accurate in terms of scale. There we go. So there's this dude. Most of the crew is going to be his height. If you see the little white dots back there, and I can't turn them on right now because of the way this thing's set up, those turn red. Like I said, I'm going to be painting this thing. It's not quite done. But those will turn red, just like a, modern sub. And then there's it looks kind of small from here, but if you look at it like this, and you consider the fact that, let's see, is there a ruler around here? Pretty sure there's one. It's just like playing Where's Waldo. Anyway, it's pretty big. It's a pretty big guy, pretty big fella. Let's see. Here's my hand. So it's a roughly, I want to say, I think the last time I measured it might be a little taller. 17 and a half to 18 inches from very top to the legs bent. Straightening out the legs, it's probably closer to about almost 2 feet. But I'm not straightening those out for any reason. I need them bent like that so it can stand. It's got an interior with LED lighting in every room and removable panels so you can see the inside. There's that little diamond plate kind of floor. I'm going to add that to the bottom too. Some little vents. I think that's, what did I say this was? This is the ballast intake drain. And then there's like some other stuff. There's some panels that are on the inside. Where is it? Did I put this one on? And if you look back here, there's even a little area where you can refuel and relieve pressure. And that's got a little thing on it. Let's see if I can put a guy on there. I figured if you're going to be twisting stuff, you need something to stand on. And that should be accessible once it's underwater. The whole underwater thing is kind of the whole point of this. So I wanted to make that at least as, if not realistic, at least as semi-believable, pseudoscience believable as possible. So, yeah, like I said, we got the props. Got the props. We got some more of this stuff. I guess I could turn these on. Well, no, the switches are inside here somewhere. And then here's the deck. Here's a good shot of that gun. That little tiny deck gun, which I can kind of move around over here. And it's not going to fall off because, again, it's got a magnet underneath. It's pretty strong. But it's got enough space underneath so that I can actually move this around without too much trouble. You know, for posing purposes. And am I going to play with this? No. I don't play with any of these. I make them durable enough to be able to play with. There we go. So there you go. That's why everything's kind of getting everything to the right scale is kind of a pain, but he's got a little piece of flash underneath. That's why he's all funky. Look, got to remove all that stuff. I'm going to have to paint probably, I want to say 15 to 20 crew for this thing. So they look nice. I'm sculpting a new captain because I didn't like the captain that I had. He was a little short. So I'm making a captain here for that seat that's in there. Pretty much the same way I made the diver. Sculpting that out of green stuff. This guy sculpted entirely out of green stuff, except for maybe the tubes I used for his little containers, air guy thing. I forget, what do they call them? The oxygen tanks. Oops. I made overboard. There we go. He can stand on his own. Gives you an idea of the height of that dude. He's a pretty tall guy with those big boots and giant helmet. So anyway, yep, that's it. That's it, guys. Let me show you how this works, I guess, again. If I can get it open. This slides open like that. And then this slides open like that. And I'm going to be putting some little beauty panels and stuff on it so that it... I guess the bonus here is if they open up, you can use them as armor plating for these guys, but then this will be exposed. Then there's the little mini sub that pops out of here, the giant cappuccino machine / parachute room tank thing. All the wiring is going to get covered up. That hatch is all loose. I got it upside down. There it goes. I thought about putting a light in here too, but yeah, whatever. I gotta clean this thing up anyway. So once this is painted, it'll look a little bit nicer. And you know, I think the hatch opening is a fun novelty, but at the end of the day, I guess I could put a magnet in there to keep it from going loosey-goosey on me, or I could just glue it shut. And I don't think anybody would really care, but you know, I just like to have the novelty of the hatch in there. There's drains in here so that, you know, the water can drain out when they're ready to go back inside, depressurize and all that jazz. Yep. So let's rotate that around. I wanted to have an external outside deck for this thing, but... And this thing, believe it or not, there's a historical precedent for this. This crest, since I wanted to go with that sort of 19th century, late 1800s dreadnought look, and also this kind of has like a sort of a squid, sort of Kraken look to it, you know what I mean? But they always had a crest at the front of their old dreadnoughts and battleships. If you don't believe me, go online and do some research. I wanted to get a lot of that cast iron, rugged, riveted look of a genuine article kind of beastie that would be built in that time, within that time period. I try to keep the technology, even as sci-fi as it is, at least relatively visually believable. I mean, tube legs aside. You know, like if you were going to do a movie back then and you were like, your idea is like, yeah, what would a giant submarine look like that could fight monsters be? What would that how would I even envision that? And this is my idea of what that is. So I know, he's cute and smiley. It's gonna say it's gonna have a little thing right here, like a little ellipsis that says HMS, and then or maybe I'll just paint it on. I don't know, and then Kraken. I haven't decided. I know I'm going to put rivets on this. I haven't decided if I'm going to paint this black or green. I might paint it black just to tie it into this a little bit better. The red is kind of a traditional boot line, um, boot stripe, I think is what it's referred to as. You can look that one up too. Yeah, and the British Racing Green. It's kind of, it's not technically British. It's more like if I had my own country, this is my. I'm the king. I'm the emperor. It's me. Anyway, thanks, folks. Give it a thumbs up if you're interested and you like it. If you want to see more, subscribe. I will talk to you guys later. Have a good one. Have a good one. Bye. How do I exit? Oh, yeah. Boom.